G'day everyone, if we haven't met before, my name is Sam. Thank you so much for turning on this video. In today's yoga practice, we are going to be working quite a lot with balance. So balancing on the hands, balancing on the feet, and all different combinations of those. One block will come in handy, so if you do have one of those, grab it, or something block-esque, and pop that close by. As always, we'll get right into it. We're going to start today's practice standing. So you come towards the top of the mat, I'll stand here just so I can see you, and we'll come towards Tadasana. Take two big toes to touch, feel the thighs drawing in towards each other, feel the thigh muscles flexing, the knees lifting, and the glutes starting to firm. Then really deliberately, can you draw your shoulders down away from your ears so the back of the neck starts to lengthen. Have a couple of moments just to breathe slowly here. As we prepare our mind, our breath, and our body for our practice. Take an inhale. And let it out. Gently blink your eyes open. From here, we'll just reach the arms up and overhead as we take an inhale. Feel the hips press forward slightly. Imagine the thumbs are moving to the back of the room slightly. And as you exhale, we'll work to fold over the thighs. Taking a bend in the knees to start with, letting the head drop down nice and heavy. And if you like, perhaps interlacing the hands to the back of the head to draw the chin in towards the chest a little more. Perhaps a little bit of movement on the feet. Just to feel the toes, the heels, inner and outer arches of the feet start to press down into the earth. And let the hands drop down. Take a halfway lift as you inhale, so let your spine get nice and long. And then we'll step back to our first plank pose for today. There's lots of length in the plank, the heels press back. Crown of the head reaches forwards, we are pushing away from the floor, and as the biceps wrap to the front of the room, we'll just start to lean forward slightly. So we bend the elbows, we feel the chest touch the floor before we press straight back up, getting that first push up out of the way nice and early, and then taking it down to the belly, pulling through Bhujangasana. Tops of the feet ground, draw the shoulder blades back towards each other, lift the chest up, breathe in. Exhale, we let the head drop. We tuck the toes. We press up and back to our first downward facing dog. Any movement you need to take when you get there, just to feel a little more acclimated into your body. Humble, pedal out through the feet or shake out through the hips, whatever is comfortable for you, maybe whatever is familiar, whatever's going to allow you to feel into your body a little bit more. Take a breath. And lift up high on the toes, or to start to slowly walk towards the top of the mat, working to keep the legs nice and straight along the way. Halfway lift as you reach the top. Exhale, we fold heavy. And come up through standing, circle the arms wide. Again, hips press forward. Imagine the thumbs are moving to the back of the room slightly. As you exhale, pull the hands through center. Let them return down by the sides. And we move again. Inhale, we climb. Exhale, we fold over the thighs. Halfway lift the in-breath, the spine is long. We're going to keep the right foot where it is this time. Step the left leg back, nice and long. We'll find a lunge, and then we're going to drop the back knee down. Once the back knee drops down, you'll notice the right thigh starts to descend, so the right thigh is going to actually sit deeper. We want to keep that right thigh nice and low. In a moment, we're going to re-lift the left knee off the mat, but we're going to try and keep all the depth we've worked really hard to create. Push down to the left hand, reach the right arm up towards the sky. So find a twist, Then I want you to look at the right thigh and try to draw the right thigh towards you as your chest and your belly moves towards the right thigh at the same time, so they press towards each other. This will allow a little more of that twist to occur, and then you keep all that depth you've worked to create in that front thigh as you lift the back knee off the mat. And hopefully this will start to lengthen through the front of the left hip a little bit more. And you keep the chest and the thigh pressing towards each other. You keep rotating as right thigh descends and the left thigh starts to ascend. Take one last breath. Hold for the exhale. Then right arm's going to reach the front of the room. Chest will square towards the floor. And see how gently we can pick up the right leg and step it back to meet the left. So we're in this one arm plank variation. The wider the feet are, the more chance the hips are going to remain square. I'm going to be here for 5, 4, keep pushing through the left hand, 3, 2, on 1. Right hand returns, lean forwards, we take our push up, chest to floor, press straight back up, and then come on down. Find your cobra pose, inhale, knees are lifting. Exhale, we drop the head, tuck the toes, press up and back to downward facing dog. When we get there, right leg will start to rise. We'll roll the right hip open and then start to bend the knee. You draw the right heel as though it was trying to touch your left glute. Press evenly through both hands. Maybe your left heel can descend, get closer to the floor as the right knee ascends and lifts higher. Take a breath. Be there for the exhale. Then lift high on the left toes. As you look forward, right knee is going to tap the left elbow. So that's the opposite one. Roll forwards, tap, then extend the right leg out to the left-hand side. When you get there, let your back heel drop down. Reach your left arm to the front of the room. Palm points up to the ceiling. You try and rotate your heart up towards the ceiling. So you actively look under your left armpit. Feel the hips lifting nice and high and really breathing so you're sending the breath into the left-hand side of the body. Take an inhale. Then we unravel. Left hand grounds, roll onto the left toes. Start to bring the right knee in towards the chest. Lift nice and high. And then step the right foot between the hands. This is where we find our trusty block or block-esque object we might have. Step the back leg up a little closer. Work to straighten both legs. Left toes turn off to the left-hand side a little. And you press through the left hand into the block. Block's got 3 different heights, so you put it on whatever height you need to, so you're not collapsing, but instead you are lifting up. Right arm's going to reach out to the right-hand side of the room. Take an in-breath. As we exhale, we twist. So you push through the left hand. Start to rotate the torso to the right-hand side of the room. We're doing our best here to keep moving the right hip backwards, wrapping the left hip forwards. Keep your right thigh muscles engaged. You can feel the right knee lifting. Maybe you turn the gaze up towards that top hand. Really allow the exhale to continue twisting the body towards the right. Take an in-breath. Be there for the exhale. And gently unravel. So right hand starts to come down. Little bend in the right knee. We're just going to step the left leg up to meet the right. Take a halfway lift as you breathe in. And the exhale, fold forwards. Hopefully your right leg is really starting to work now. Roll up through standing. Circle the arms wide overhead. Breathe in. Exhale, we pull through center. And just take a moment here to breathe. I'm not sure about you, but I definitely got my heart working, especially in that deep twist. So we find a moment, we find a breath just to calm down, for lack of a better term, just so we're not all jacked up as we make our way through the left side. When you feel ready, inhale, we rise. Exhale, we fold over the thigh. Halfway lift the in-breath, so let your spine get nice and long. Left foot stays where it is. Step the right leg back this time. then drop the back knee down. Acknowledging the depth of the left thigh for a moment. When we do work to lift the back knee off the mat again, we try to keep this same depth. So we find the twist first. We push through the right hand. We let that rotate the torso towards the left-hand side. And then we hug the inner thigh towards the chest. We draw the chest towards the inner thigh. We push the two together. And then we keep the depth in the front leg as we lift the back knee off the mat. I don't know about you, but I can really feel this in the front of my right hip, namely my hip flexor muscles. To be okay if you're tight as well. Not everything is always going to be fantastically comfortable as we make our way through the yoga practice. Take a breath in. And left arm starts to reach to the front of the room. Chest is square to the floor. We do our best to see if we can pick up the left leg, step it back to meet the right. Lots of space between the feet to work to square the hips towards the floor. Really pressing through that right hand. Drawing the navel in. Seeing if we can stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left hand returns. Lean forwards. We take the push up. Chest finds the floor. And then you make it to the floor. Pull through your cobra pose. Breathe in. Feel that opening in the front body. Neck is long, shoulder blades roll down the back. Another inhale. Exhale, we drop the head. Tuck the toes. We take the push up. Come back to downward facing dog. When we get there, left leg starts to rise. Hip rolls open. We bend the knee. Squeeze it in. Right heel gets lower. Left knee lifts higher. We really breathe into that open space in the left-hand side of the body. We feel the length in the back of the right leg. We take one last breath. Then we climb up high on the right toes. Left knee works to tap the right elbow. So we roll forwards, come across the body. We extend the left leg out to right. Back heel drops down. Right arm reaches forwards. We try to rotate, palm up to the ceiling, and look under the right armpit. Pushing out of that left shoulder joint. So feeling an element of lift as you press through the left hand. Take one last breath. Unravel. Right hand down. Roll onto the right toes. Squeeze the left knee in towards the chest. And then step the foot. Nice work. Grab the trusty block. Shorten the stance so both feet are flat. Right toes turn out a little. Both legs are working to straighten. Rest the right hand onto your block, whatever height you need to, so we're not collapsing. Instead, we are pushing away. You want to feel stable through your base, so through your feet. You want to feel square through the hips. Left hip moves back. And then we push through the right hand, reach the left arm out to the left-hand side of the room. Take an inhale. Exhale, we rotate. We take our time to open into the twist. We want to see what's happening in the body. We want to feel if the hips are still working to square. We want to feel if we actually are rotating through the torso, or is it just the left arm that started to rise? If it's the latter, then you peel it back. Maybe you even just rest the left hand on the tailbone. But we don't want to feel the chest square and then just reach the arm up. We want to really rotate, using the exhale to feel your way into the twist. Take a breath. Left hand returns. Step the right leg up to meet the left. Nice work. We'll hang out in the fold for a little, just pedal out through the feet. Catch hold of the big toes. Lift the chest up halfway. Breathe in. Exhale. Pull yourself down a little more. Roll the shoulder blades down the back. Let your head drop. Nice one. Release the toes. We're going to shuffle the two big toes together. We're going to sit the hips back towards a chair pose and just reach the arms out in front of you to start. So the arms are working almost as a counterweight. As the hips move back, the arms reach forward. So not your traditional Utkatasana chair pose. We're just finding a little more of this reach forwards. So you're sitting the hips back in space. You're squeezing the knees together like you had a block between them. And I want you to just explore and sit as deep as you can, with the heels still grounded and with the knees still drawing together. So if at any point you feel the heels start to rise, then that's your depth for today. You can be wherever you are. We're going to take a breath in. And on the exhale, we're going to push through the heels, come all the way up to stand, drop the arm. Nice work. Then reach the arms out in front of you, sit all the way down again. Inhale. Exhale, we press back up, drop the arm. So really working to keep the feet flat and the knees drawing towards each other. Inhale, we descend, arms forward. Exhale, we press to right. Do 3 more. Inhale, reach forwards, descend. Exhale, we rise. 2 more. Inhale. Last one. Nice work. Shake out the legs. When you get up there, you can crack the toes, you can roll over the ankles, whatever you need to do. I'm going to come towards a standing back bend here, so giving yourself a little space between the feet, a little bit wider. And then take the hands to support the low back. Fingers are going to point up. You're going to roll the shoulder blades back towards each other, tuck under the tailbone, and then press the hips forward to lift the chest. Feel the glutes firming slightly as the chest rises. Keep hugging the elbows back in. And breathe into the front of the body. Last inhale. As you exhale, press the thighs back, lift the chest, and fold over the thigh. This time, if there's space, lift the feet and place the palm of the hand underneath the sole of the foot. Release the hands. Take a halfway lift again, long spine. And then right leg stays. I'll step the left leg back nice and long. Drop the back knee down. So coming to a twisted lunge again, this one's going to be a little more fun. So you might really need to ask your legs to do some work here in a moment. So left hand's going to press down, right arm's going to rise. Just like we did before, you squeeze the chest in towards the leg in towards the chest. Now the right arm's going to reach to the right hand side of the room. Then from there, the left arm's going to reach to the right hand side of the room as well, but it's going to move underneath your right leg. And you're trying not to hold onto the leg, the arm's just moving in that general direction. And then we lift the back knee off the mat. As best you can, you turn your torso to the right hand side of the room. Notice my left arm's not holding the leg, it's more of the chest pressing against the thigh and just reaching both arms over towards the right hand side. Take a breath. Be there for the exhale. One more like that. Breathe in. Nice work. Hands find the mat. Nice and gently we step the right leg back to meet the left. Once we get there, fall to the outside edge of the right foot. Stack the left foot on top and then press to reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Let the hips rise nice and high. Maybe extend that top arm towards the front of the room. Working to use an exhale to draw the ribs in, draw the belly in. Take a breath. As you exhale, look forward, roll through your plank, take your push-up, and then belly, Bhujangasana, cobra. Exhale, push-up, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg, rise up nice and high. We're going to roll open the hip, bend the knee, just like we did before. If you want to take it to wild thing this time, fall to the outside edge of the left foot, ball of the right foot grounds down, and then you rotate, hips and heart up towards the ceiling. Right palm faces up to the ceiling, right arm is heavy, like the fingertips. We're trying to find the floor. Breathe in here. and unravel. Right knee draws to the left elbow, like we did before. We extend the right leg out to the left-hand side. Now this part's really fun and it's tricky. If you've never done it before, it might be a little bit confusing, but the right hand's going to stay where it is, the right foot's going to stay where it is, and you're really going to push down through the outside edge of this right foot, so make sure the thigh is engaged. Left arm's going to reach out in front of you, and in a moment, we're going to try and create a little bit of momentum and hop off the left foot and try to take the left knee to tap the right elbow, so it'll look like this. Lean back, little hop, and then left knee finds the left elbow. And we just stay there for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. We unravel, left hand grounds, we draw the right knee in towards the chest, and then step the foot. Whew. Nice work. We grab our trusty block this time, pop it in front of the right foot, give yourself lots of space, and your left hand is going to come to it. So the right leg is super warm. We've already asked it to do quite a lot. We're going to ask it to do a little bit more here. Right hand finds the tailbone. Lean forward, lift the back, left leg off the mat. So the hips are trying to stay square. Left foot is flexing, left heel is pressing backwards. Then you push through the left hand, try to rotate the torso to the right hand side of the room. Just keep your gaze steady. Down towards the block. Keep your breath steady. Be here for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Listen carefully. Your left foot is going to land next to your right. Once it does, we're going to come up to stand, bring the right knee with us, and if we can, catch hold of the right foot, the outside edge of the foot. Once we come to stand, we extend the right leg out in front of us, start to reach the right arm back behind us. So it's the same pose, we've just changed our orientation to gravity. Left leg is firm and straight, chest is broad and open, space from one hand to the next. Be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back through center and soften the right leg down. Nice work. Give the legs a shake out. I'm so sorry if you can hear that. I have found myself a squeaky floorboard underneath my foot. Sometimes it's unavoidable. It just happens. That's okay. We're going to use the block here in a moment. The block is going to go where your right foot would be if your feet were hip width distance apart. We are going to work with some single leg squat variations. They're challenging, they're tough, they're a lot of fun. The last variation might have us falling onto our bottom, but that is okay because that's where we're going to meet anyway. So I'll demonstrate first and then we'll do it together. Left foot is firm and planted. First variation, we're just going to see if our right knee can tap the block. We come back up. Second variation, right knee taps the left calf. We come back up, so we understand the right leg is starting to move around to the left-hand side. Third variation, we see if right knee can touch the floor outside the left foot. Notice we don't want the right foot to ground on the mat. Press through the left leg to come back up. That one's tricky. Last one, even trickier than that. Fourth one, we take the right knee around the outside. We try to straighten out the right leg, and we keep bending into the left knee until we sit onto the floor. And this is where we end up. Boom. So right leg is nice and straight, and the left foot is outside the right thigh. So hopefully you just watched during that one. Now we get to do it together. So shake out the legs if you need to. Take a breath if you need to. And then we prepare. Left foot firm and stable. First round, right knee taps the block. Boom. You rise. Second round, right knee taps the left calf, reach the arms out in front as a counterweight, and then we rise. Nice one. Third round, right knee taps the floor outside the left foot, and then we rise. And this one we go for broke, we see what happens. Right knee moves to the outside of the left leg. You keep bending the left knee as you straighten the right leg to come on down. Yes. Cross the left knee on top of the right knee a little more, and just allow yourself to fold forward. Maybe that worked quite well. Maybe we fell onto our bottom nice and early. It doesn't really matter. And then everything starts to slow down. Your breath, your body, your mind. One last breath here. And we're going to rise back up. So this next part is just a little balance challenge. None of this is necessary, it's all optional, but the body is ready. This is what we have been working towards. So if you want to, we're going to set that left foot flat again. It's just outside the right thigh. Now the right hand's just going to reach back behind you, just beyond the fingertips to start with. You reach the left arm up. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you reach forward. The hand flips, you catch the outside edge of the foot, just like we did in the standing balance before. Now, in a moment, we're going to see if we can just lean our chest off towards the right-hand side and then push through the left foot and the right hand to lift our bottom off the mat. It'll look like this. You just lean over to the right, press down to try and lift. So you're holding on to the right foot with the left hand. Maybe you're on the fingertips, trying to square your chest towards the floor. As you get lots of length through the left-hand side of the torso, right outer hip. Take an inhale. Hold for the breath out. And we gently lower down. Nice work. Give the legs a chance just to shake out. Good news is we're done. On the right-hand side now, that is. The unfortunate news is we have the left-hand side to go. But I always like the second side of a sequence because now you know what's happening. There's no more surprises. You can just be a part of the experience, whether it's going to be terrifying for you, frustrating, challenging, or maybe you just embrace it. Whatever it is, you know what's to come. So what we're going to do now is come straight up to stand. So you bend the knees, you can use the hands for support. We just rise all the way up. I want you to pretend for a moment that this was the first Tadasana we've taken. Feet pressed together. We stand up tall. We take an inhale. We let it out. Then we reach the arms up wide. Breathe in. Exhale, we fold over the thighs. Inhale, chest lengthens halfway, spine is long. Left foot stay, pick up the right leg, step it back nice and long. Drop the back knee down. Remember, there's no fear this time, or there's no suspense because we know what's happening. Come towards the twist first, rotate the torso to the left-hand side, reach the left arm up, then press the inner thigh towards the chest. Reach your left arm towards the left-hand side of the room. As best you can, right arm reaches to the left-hand side of the room as well. Underneath the left leg, without gripping hold of the left leg, we lift the back knee off the mat. It might look like this to start with the bum nice and high, but the longer we're here, the more we work to descend into that left thigh, and the more we try and take the right arm underneath to meet the left, like you were trying to square the arms as best you can. It's not supposed to be easy, it's supposed to be challenging, so embrace the challenge. Be here for 2 breaths. Breathe in. One more inhale. Nice work. Both hands ground, pick up the left leg, step back through a plank. Pull the outside edge of left foot, right foot grounds on top. We reach the right arm up. We're happy to be off the legs for a moment. Maybe that right arm reaches forwards. You let the hips lift nice and high. And then we roll through plank pose. It's going to be our last push-up vinyasa here. So embrace it. Long cobra pose. Arms a little straighter this time. Chest is lifting. Notice if we practice together a lot, I quite enjoy cobra pose as opposed to upward facing dog. I find it's a little kinder on the shoulder joint. And you can still get just as much opening. As we come to downward facing, left leg will start to rise. Inhale. Hip rolls open, knee bends. If you want to take it to wild thing, left foot grounds down or left ball mound grounds. Right leg is straight. We roll open, hips and heart. Left arm is heavy. Left side of body is long. Breathe in. Exhale, we unravel. Left knee starts to draw to the right elbow. Come across the body. Extend the left leg out to the right hand side. Now remember the funny business we played with on the right hand side. It's tricky if you've never done it before. So the worst thing that could happen is maybe you fall on your bum, but I love a fall because it means you had a go. Left hand stays where it is. Left leg stays where it is. We're really pressing into the outside edge of the foot. We're really flexing this left quad. And then right arm reaches out in front of us. Take an inhale. A little bit of buoyancy. On the exhale, we try to take right knee to left elbow. And they just stay there. Left hand working in overdrive, left leg working in overdrive, and left obliques as well. Take one last breath. Unravel, right hand down, extend the right leg back, and squeeze the left knee in towards the chest before you step the left foot between the hands. Golly gosh, are we glad that that's over. Take the block long ways out in front of you, right hand grounds onto the block, left hand searches for the tailbone. Then you lean forward slowly as the right leg rises. Take your time to find your balance there. Hips are square. Push through the right hand. And when you feel ready, when you feel stable, start to rotate torso to the left hand side of the room. Last full breath. And then slowly, right hand grounds next to the left. Once it does, we come up to stand, bringing the left knee with us. Like we did before, we work to catch the outside edge of the left foot with the right hand. As you extend the left leg out in front of you, you work to reach the left arm back behind you. Keep your gaze steady. Keep your breath steady. One last inhale. One last exhale. And then we unravel. Oh, nice work. Fantastic. That's all our standing balance done. We are going to set up for our single leg squat variations. This time the block is going to go where your left foot would be if you were standing hip width distance apart. And lucky me, I think my grounded foot, which is the right one, is going to be directly underneath the noisy floorboard, but that's okay. It's just a part of the process. We know what our different variations are this time. First one, left knee taps the block. Second one, left knee taps the right calf. Third round, left knee searches for the floor outside the right foot. And fourth round, we take the knee to the outside of the foot again, work to extend the left leg as we sit down onto the floor. And once we're on the bum, we're not getting back up. So standing on the right leg, start by bending the left knee, reach the arms out in front, take an inhale. Exhale, left knee, searches for the block. We rise, inhale at the top. Exhale, left knee to right calf. We rise, inhale at the top. Exhale, left knee, searches for the outside of the right foot on the ground. And then we press straight back up. Fantastic. Let's go for broke. Number 4. Left knee makes its way around to the outside of the right leg. We extend the left leg as we keep bending into the right knee to sit down. Woo. And if that didn't work out perfect for you, don't worry, it didn't work out perfect for me either. Right knee bends on top of the left. You adjust your hips and allow yourself to fold. If I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't played with those variations in maybe 2 years. But I started this week when I was planning my public classes. That's what I wanted to play with. That's what was bringing me joy as I came onto my mat. That's what was giving me a curiosity or a hunger, a thirst to play and explore. So that's what I chose to share. That's generally what happens, whatever in a particular time, whether it be a week or 2 weeks, or however long I spend teaching a sequence. It's generally whatever I am passionate about and what I am genuinely enjoying myself, because that way I can teach it with integrity. I can teach it with a passion, and I can try and translate that to students. Sometimes it works. But if you're just teaching things for the sake of teaching them, then you're never going to really bring that extra little bit of joy or fire or passion, or whatever you want to call it. So you want to make sure that you are teaching something that you are interested and you're curious in yourself. Take a breath. And rise back up. Remember, this next part is just for fun. Right foot grounds flat outside the left thigh. Left fingertips reach behind you. And then you reach the right arm up, breathe in. Exhale, reach forward. Turn the hand down, catch the outside edge of the foot. Now we let the chest fall to the left. We push into the right foot and the left hand. We try and lift the hips off the mat. You square the chest to the floor as best you can. You lengthen the outside of the left leg and the outside or the right hand side of the torso. Take a breath in. And then we lower down. Yes! Nice work. Extend the legs out long. Give them an almighty shake out. And then we're going to adjust our sitting bones so they're nice and even. We're going to keep the feet flexing. We're going to finish off just by reaching the arms up high. Inhale. Exhale to fold from the pelvis forwards over the thighs. Gently start to lift the chest. And then one last little opening or front body release just before we come down onto our mat. Hands behind the hips, shoulder blades roll back, press through hands and feet to start to lift the hips off the mat. Really focus on trying to lift the hips just as high as the knees and the shoulders. Then keep the neck working, just look up to the ceiling so crown of the head extends to the back of the room without completely dropping the head, so we're still feeling a little bit of that muscular activity there in the neck. One last breath. Slowly lower down. Nice work. So we'll take ourselves down onto our back. Just extend the legs out nice and long. The legs have done enough. Take the arms down by the side. Shoulder blades roll back. Knuckles rest against the earth. We're going to start to allow everything to release. Fingers curl in, toes fall out to either side. Breath slows down. Nice active practice to start your day. It's still important to take a moment to slow down at the end of practice. So the calm flow of breath to return. Calm mind. As you feel a heat wash over your body after the practice. Know that the legs are active and engaged now. Maybe you stay here a little longer, or maybe that's all you've got time for today. Choice is yours, but as always, from me to you with thanks. Peace.